Anitra.
My name's Alicia.
And welcome back to another episode of The Challenge 40 highlights video. We are on episode 8. We are. She's doing good keeping up. We're doing good keeping up with the number. And it was a pretty good episode. I'm not too mad at this one. I don't need my refund back on this one. Some other people may feel differently, but I'm pretty satisfied with things. What about you?
I am satisfied as well. I guess we're getting kind of close to like a reset where, Rachel's by her lonesome. So we're like, what's going on? A lot of people are thinking the game is about to change, and it seems like it's still in the same format for at least the next episode. So
yeah. It's weird because we don't know. Like, we know Rachel's the girl who's going up, but there's no guy for that era. So there's a lot less targets
wiggle room
available
for the guys. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
How is that going to work?
Also, there's a lot of different politicking going on this episode that we can discuss that is going to affect the game moving forward. So a lot of interesting things to get into.
Yeah, some interesting things, guys. And if you watch Survivor, go ahead and watch Survivor tonight, too. It's a pretty good episode there, too.
Very good episode.
Yeah. So we had a good episode tonight. The Survivor was definitely good. So we're going to jump into the challenge, though, all right? Our first highlight that we want to talk about, this should be hopefully not the longest episode, but we'll see. First thing we want to talk about is Era 2 and Era 3 working together. That's one of the things I noticed first off the bat, or parts of it. We get that Corey and Nehemiah conversation where he's like, you know what? I'm done with Era 4. Like, they ain't doing nothing for me. Like, I trust you. You're on Era 2. Derek, I know my girl Avery is close to Derek. So, it makes sense for us to just team up. And they don't put like a date on it. They don't say like just for this challenge or whatever. But, they're saying we're going to work together. We're going to work together. And
also, we also saw, and I think this is the next one actually, but they kind of go hand in hand. We saw Derek approaching Theo.
We can look at together. Part of our highlight number 1. On the flip side, we also get Era 4 and Era 1.
So they're talking about working together. And Theo's very open to it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't know why he's open to it because there are literally 2 people on that team. So there's not much that you're going to be able to get from them personally.
And what he said on the episode was just like, nobody else is talking to me. So if they're not talking to me, they're against me. Mm-hmm. So, on that aspect, I applaud it. He's like, no, and they're not talking to him. So that's their mistake. And they weren't with him. They weren't. They were planning on working against him. So even though it's like your ally isn't that strong of an ally.
Yeah, at least you have somebody to work with. And that's the way Theo was feeling about it. And good on Era 1, good on Derek for approaching Theo. I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why. Maybe they didn't want to double dip since it was clear. It seems like they were going to be targeting
2 and 3, them. Was working together. They should have been a little bit more clever with that. But, I don't think it could be helped. Everybody knows at this point that Derek and Avery are close. When you go in for someone, people tend to figure out that you might be close. But yeah, so that's something we noticed right off the rip. We get Era 4 and Era 1 teaming up, Era 2 and Era 3 teaming up. Because no one talked to Theo. And Jenny's mad. Jenny's mad on her era. She's mad. And Michelle, she's mad because she keeps going in over and over again. And Michelle has to sit down with her. And she's like, look out for yourself, like, girl. And I'm like, that's so sweet of you, Michelle, but I don't know if that's going to benefit you, telling her to look out for herself. I don't know if it's going to benefit you having Jenny start to look out for herself, because we all know who's Jenny's close to, and it's not the same people that you're close to. But, that's what we get.
I think Michelle just can't help it because she's I feel like she's like a good person at her core, so she always tries to be a good person. She doesn't want somebody to feel like they're by themselves and stuff, even though they kind of are. And so that was her way of being there for her and giving her something solid, even though it wasn't something that was the best for her.
And there you have it, guys. We may have our beef, or not we, but people may have their beef with Michelle and their grievances with her. But one thing we cannot say about her is say that she's a bad person. That girl has proven to be a good person, even to maybe her own detriment. All right, moving on to highlight number 2, the thing that we noticed, Ryan versus Bananas. Of course, we're going to notice it. Ryan versus Bananas continues. And to the point where Ryan has now moved out. He's like, I'm over it. over there. This grown man, all he does is talk about himself. And then we cut to the production doing Bananas no favors, just having him talk all about himself and fast forwarding it through him. And you get to see, he's an egomaniac a little bit. And then you get Funny Johnny being like, you know what? I think I want to move out too. Like, he's going to follow him. And yeah, the beef continues between Ryan and Bananas. But at least it's not, I feel like it's not a love-hate, but it's like, it's not cruel. Like, they're not being cruel to each other. They're just being like taking digs at each other.
And Ryan also did not want to be with Laurel anymore. He was tired of her evil laugh, her cackling.
Yes.
And then we got a little
believe
bit
he was rooming with them in the first place? Like, what the heck?
That backstory. Yeah, I don't know why he was rooming with them to begin with, but
yeah, we got that backstory
of Nicole texting Ryan too much during the breakup time, and Laurel is to blame for that, according to Ryan, or according to Laurel, Ryan blames her for that. So, I don't know what truth is. I would like to hear Ryan's side because we haven't heard this story from Ryan. That's not what he said. No, we haven't.
I thought we did.
He said not that.
Early on
in the season,
he said
the breakup was messy.
And he took Nicole's side doing it. That's what I thought he said. Or Laurel feels he took Nicole's side doing it.
That was Laurel who said that, yeah.
Or no, he said that the breakup was messy and they're not good because Laurel feels he took Nicole's side during it.
Yeah.
So y'all correct us if we're wrong. I forgot. They talked about a long time ago.
So I'm saying Ryan never said, Nicole sent me all these mean texts and I blame Laurel for it.
No.
So I'm just saying, like, this is a new added piece to the story that we're getting, and we haven't heard Ryan confirm it. So it would be nice to hear from Ryan why exactly their relationship is the way it is, and what specifically he's actually mad about and stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? From what we've seen of Laurel so far this season, I don't know if it was such a loss for him, because she just seems to be kind of a mean-spirited person. But they used to be friends in the past somehow, and I think she was the same. I don't think she's changed.
It seemed like it was more so like he was saying, I saw her true colors. And he didn't like the colors that he saw. That's what I thought he was saying.
I could see that.
Early on, but...
And I was writing notes then, so I don't even really know what you said there. So, sorry, guys. But yeah, that was the second moment. Y'all let us know about that, if y'all can clear some things up on the whole Ryan-Laurel storyline. But yeah, anyways, moving in at number 3, Cara and Derek. Oh, we wondered, we get a conversation or we get a confessional where Cara Marie is talking about, I know that Derek is going to fight hard for Avery because they're really close. But then we also get Cara Maria saying, but I'm going to try to defend Theo if I can. I'm going to try to keep him out. And that's where we were wondering, is this like foreshadowing of a stalemate between Cara and Derek? And we're like, oh, girl, you don't want to do that. Of course, that didn't really play out. So our real number 3 highlight is the Gladiator preview, guys. I'm sorry, I had to highlight that because that stood out to me. As a Gladiator fan, this one hasn't seen it. I thought I watched it with her before. I thought I was like, yeah, watch Gladiator with me. But I don't think I did. Yeah, we have to watch that.
That kind of stuff is really not my jam.
She's not going to like it, guys, because it's gory.
I don't like gory stuff. I don't like violence. I don't like people just killing each other.
But the storyline, right? The storyline is what gets you there. It has a really, really great storyline. But yeah, she wouldn't like the violence of it all.
Just have to get past that, I
guess.
Just
but
have to get past it. I don't know that. I would still look back on it and be like, it was good because that's such a big part of it.
It's not to the point where other movies it's gonna make your stomach hurt or whatever. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's something that you could get through.
It's like you would think if I can watch Hunger Games and stuff, that's what that's about. But I don't know.
Yeah. Pray for her. But I get it. It's okay not to not like violence and stuff like that. But yeah, that preview was bomb. My bestie was saying that it didn't look good to her, but that movie looked good to me. And I think we're gonna see Denzel in the villain role again. That's what it looked like to me. And
he looking fine, y'all. He ages
He's
very
aging
nicely.
like wine.
Yes, fine like wine.
And the gray hair looking good on him, huh? But
Silver Fox.
yeah, that dude, I love to see him in the hero role, but he plays a mean villain too. So I'm just gonna enjoy the acting. Honestly, I'm just going to enjoy. And they got my dude Pedro Pascal in that.
Not many people can do both, so that's cool that he's so versatile.
Yeah, he plays a good villain. So yeah, excited to see that. What about you guys? Like, are y'all on my bestie's side, or are you with me thinking, hey, you know what, it does look good? Like, have you seen the first one? Will this be your first time seeing a Gladiator movie? Anyways, the preview was much better though than the actual daily. We didn't really care for the daily. I mean, like in theory, it didn't sound fun. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. In theory, it didn't sound fun only because it's one of those challenges where you can tell that people are gonna team up. And it's just never fun to me when people like align and they push out like the weaker team or whatever. It's just not fun for me to watch. So even hearing about it, I was like, okay, it's one of those. But it was even worse when we watched it because
for me, it was just like not a gratifying challenge. Like I was like, did they test this out again? She always says that she doesn't think that they test these out.
They don't test them enough, that's for sure.
It did not seem like they tested this, because I feel like if they tested this, they would have realized it's not very fun to watch, because it was like the people were not getting out.
They were not getting out, guys.
And so
we watched...
that would have been the fun part, to see them be able to strategize and figure out how to get these people out.
Yeah.
But it was like the people that were getting out were kind of just doing that on their own. Like they were like running too fast and like went over or like flipped over or like...
every now and again, they would push one person. It's literally like I could probably count on one hand the actual amount of people that fell out, boys and girls, guys and girls, during that challenge and that daily. And that's just not fun. It's not fun to just watch them.
And I think it was mostly to do with this thing that they
shield.
Gave them. The shield was like, it was hurting people, but it wasn't doing the job of getting them off like the platform like it was supposed to. So... I don't know. I would have preferred seeing them be able to strategize and find a way to get these players off.
I almost feel like, I was thinking about it back there and I was like, okay, Gladiator movie, what could they have done? And in the movie Gladiator, here's a little spoiler, sorry you guys. At one point in the movie, the dude cheats and he injures the hero and he like stabs him in the side or something. And so, he's trying to fight, but his hand is kind of like glued to his side and so he's only able to use one arm because he's injured on his side. I'm like, almost like tie their hand to their side so they have one hand on the shield and they have to, like, it's more of a chance that they can push someone out because they're kind of off balance or whatever. Like, do something and that's a thing from the movie that you're borrowing, and then do something to where they're actually pushing people out.
Something to make it more likely for the people to leave.
Because that's what made it so boring, was nobody was getting pushed off. So
they were just bumping into each other and hurting each other, and nothing was being
accomplished
by that. So, yeah.
And the thing that made it all the worse was that, of course, Era 1 is going to lose because the winners have to have the most people on at the end.
They literally don't have any people to begin with.
They don't have anybody to begin with. So it's just like, it's like you want to pull your hair out. Like, it's like, this is just not
It's like,
fun.
Again, right back, what we keep saying.
It's the problem. It's a huge problem.
Even the numbers out, sit people out like Survivor does. It's not hard. We would have never even gotten to this point, I'm telling you, if they would have been sitting people out earlier in this season.
We wouldn't have. And everyone didn't get a fair shake, so people can try to rag on them all you want. You can say, they're the old ones and they lost, but it wasn't a fair battle. And so they can always say that it was not fair, and we do not know what would have happened if they actually sat players out. And so now, you almost want Era 1 to just get all the way out, just so it can actually be fair, or somewhat fair, because there are still teams that have more players than other teams. But it's not fun to watch this. But anyways, all that said, we've seen worse dailies. Like, I liked the theme. I liked the ideal, the ideal of it. The idea. I know, I was like, that's not right. I always get those mixed up. All right, the idea, you guys. I gotta figure that out. I like the idea of it. And it didn't suck completely, but it wasn't good. All right, we'll just say that it wasn't good. And especially because it not being fair. All right, so that is Oh, yeah, and number 5, continuing, well, we'll just, number 5 and number 6 are both having to do with the daily. So, Theo DQs, we saw that. And then the boys were hyped, guys. They're hyped. And it's like, what happened during the daily to the 2 alliances? What the heck happened to 2 and 3 working together? We hear that that's the plan, and then the next thing we know, they're pushing everybody off. Like,
whenever they're getting an opportunity, they see somebody vulnerable, they're pushing them.
Yeah, like Corey was pushing Nehemiah out. It's like, that's your dude, bro. Like, and Devin's, they're pushing like Derek out. Like, they are literally going for their alliance members, but that's because it was so chaotic and nobody was falling. So Olivia's impressed with Theo. Then moving on to 6, we're still talking about.
But then we got the Derek versus Corey.
Oh yeah,
of it all,
yeah.
Which was very interesting.
It's very nonsensical.
I guess you guys saw during the competition, Corey T-boned.
He was hype, man.
Derek, whatever, T-boning maybe.
No, he said he teed him up. Which I guess means, like, he was roughhousing him, pretty much. Like, that's what he said. He didn't say T-bone. Guys,
well, teed him up, T-boned him, whatever the crap he did to him. He was not happy about it.
Ticked him off, y'all. That's
and because we don't do that in the challenge. Yeah. I was very confused. How did you feel?
I was just like, that's the game, bro. That's the game. Like, he was coming after you.
He was kind of being like a whiny baby, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was just like, this is really weird. This is the game. We're all sorry that you're wounded. Yeah, but it's like, you're the one that's choosing to be there, and nobody's going to sit here and baby you.
Yeah, and Derek, you're still a freaking pit bull. Like, they're not to, we see later, you're not to be underestimated. So that's why he didn't go gently on you. Like, no, it was hard to get anybody out of that ring. He went
gently on him, though.
Oh, yeah, he did go gently.
He said he could have
gone. It didn't feel like he went gently, but he did. He did. But yeah, Derek didn't like it. He felt like it was a little bit too hard on the
mad. And Derek threw his jacket at him, which was also very immature and very childlike.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that Corey didn't retaliate.
Right, a younger Corey,
he definitely would have
ran back around and went.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
hasn't Corey gotten
he's fought over
being physical.
He's fought over lesser things.
Right,
dude got in a fight over freaking pasta.
So as we see, these people are maturing in this game, so that is very cool to see. Yeah.
Fake nosing. Okay.
But like, he didn't deserve that, and he handled it very well. He did not come back at him, which he was just like talk, and I was like, thank God, Corey. Derek was real mad, obviously, for him to throw something at him, but and, not cool.
Yeah, like we said, you can't say Michelle's mean, and you also can't say that Corey has not matured, because homeboy has matured. Thank the Lord, because he definitely would have fought back.
Do you think that they could have disqualified Derek for that? Or should have? Or anything? No.
It was already over at that point. It was over. Oh, you mean like kick him out the game for that? No. He didn't throw hands. He didn't put his hands on nobody.
But he threw something at him.
Yeah.
That could have started a fight.
Yeah, but he didn't injure anybody. They don't do it that way. You have to actually like lay hands on somebody, like cause them bodily harm.
I disagree. I feel like it's because they were maybe in the game setting, but I feel like if they were like in the house and he threw something,
if he threw something that hurt him, he would have gotten kicked out for sure. That didn't hurt him.
If he threw, I don't think it matters if they got hurt. I think if you threw something with the intent,
or something that could have harmed
to hurt them,
but that couldn't have harmed him, so he wasn't going to get kicked out over that. I'm sure.
Well, I think he deserves to have been talked to, because that was very unsportsmanlike.
There you go. You heard it here. All right. Continue on with point number 6. We got Nia falling out, Avery getting pushed out. Terrible challenge, like we said. People getting hurt. Josh bleeding all over, but rarely anybody's getting pushed out. How was Era 2 to win or survive? Era 1, again, how were they supposed to win or survive? I already said that. Of course, Era 1 loses and Era 4 wins. Moving on from that.
Era 4 keeps winning, guys.
Keep winning. Point number 7, we get on to
Jenny's
highlight number 7
again.
Yep, Jenny's in power, and Jenny wants to give.
She's a wild card. They keep giving her power.
She is. That's what you're doing by targeting her. You're also giving her the opportunity to have her life in your hand, your lives in her hands, and she has it now in her hands, and she wants to give Rachel and Derek what they want. She wants to give them what they want, and we get early on that Derek's having these plans that he's not going to throw Area 3 under the bus, but when we hear these plans, we're like, but you're also not helping Avery.
You guys, this was a problem for me. I'm sorry, like I was really, really upset. Yeah, you upset too?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Avery, and we sat here and was like, why did she do that? But Avery literally went to a stalemate and went in
Lost
for Derek.
A teammate, potentially went out of the game.
Could have went home herself.
Threw her life
for
on
Derek,
the line, challenged life
and
on
you
the line.
couldn't do anything for her. That was your time to step up and say, you know what? Like, I need to go in. And I hope that she didn't say anything because I guess maybe she's just such a great friend still. But it's like, girl, I hope you learn. Do not be throwing yourself in for any of your friends because they're not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So
and to be
you should
fair,
have just thrown Derek in back then.
Yeah, you should have thrown him in back then. To be fair, the only thing that I'm gonna give Derek a understanding on is that Cara Maria was also at stake, and he can't just say I'm gonna throw myself in, and then Cara Maria's like, well, I'm not. So it takes two to tango, and
I would have liked to have at least
it.
seen him try. Like, he wasn't like, oh, well, I can't do it because Cara. He was not going to do it.
Yeah, he could. And
regardless.
If he actually wanted to repay the favor, he could have went around Cara, approached them and said, I owe Avery.
He could have tried. That was not his intention, y'all. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to say. That was not his intention, and it was not cool. Yeah. And she does not owe him anything moving forward. Play your game next time. Your own game, Avery. And, yeah, that was not cool.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that Tony's... It just made more sense. Like, they were supposed to be working with Area 4, but as we see on the flip side, Area 4 ain't doing Area 3 no favors either. Like, they're over here stabbing them in the back left and right. So it's like... It just wasn't a win. Like, they just should have rock, paper, scissors and thrown somebody in because neither one of those teams were worth going to battle for. They weren't worth stalemating over. Neither one of them. All right. So, anyways, moving on. So, Jenny wants to give Rachel and Derek what they want. Derek is not going to throw Area 3 on the bus, but he's also not going to help not going to help Avery. Devin and Avery and Corey are having a conversation, and they're planning what they're going to say in that meeting. Love to see it. It's the least you can do, Devin, after, putting Corey in this situation. But I like to see everybody brainstorming and saying, hey, this is what we're going to say. And, yeah, that's a good pitch. I like to see the camaraderie on Area 3. That's why I love them. So then we get to number 8. We get to the chamber, you guys. And Avery's pitch. Avery has a great pitch. She's like, this is a chance. She's basically speaking up for Corey, and she's the spokesperson for their team. This is your chance to repay it back to Area 3. We've been keeping you guys out.
Right the wrongs.
You stabbed Corey in the back. He wasn't feeling too good about you guys, but now you have a chance to say, hey, we do have your back and do the right thing. So great pitch from Avery. And then we get also disappointing Derek. He is not having Avery's back, and Avery sees it. And Avery has spoken to the camera in her confessional. She's spoken to us about it, and she's disappointed. You know how we feel about it. Then we get Cara's pitch. What was she saying? Probably not too important this time. Can't even remember what she's saying, but I do remember that Corey cut her off and he was like, okay, now can I speak? And it's like, and then it was like, you actually probably shouldn't have. But they thought it went really well. He just threatened them again, like he threatened them last week.
I'm gonna really take this as a shot. And it's like, you already told them last week that it was a personal shot. You already took it.
You can't restate that again because it takes it away. You gotta do something more to make them take you seriously, because then they're gonna be like,
you can say, I took it as a shot. I'm willing to not take it as a shot if you will right the wrong.
Yeah, that's what you should have said, because let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. And you already said you was taking it as a shot. So there's real this time. Maybe you can take it away and I won't, come out guns blazing on you guys.
Well, I guess we'll get there. But, what I want to say, I'm going to say it now because I might forget. What's really unfortunate is I feel like he hasn't gotten to repay any of that yet.
Yeah. Hasn't gotten to pay it back yet. So I hope he does. I really want that for him because, man, they have done a number on him and it has not been cool.
It was Josh and Jenny before, and now it's Jenny and Theo. And he has not been able to repay either one of them back for those decisions. So,
There are 4 people. But yeah, then we get Derek's pitch, and Derek's like, this dude came at me and he's saying Rachel. What did he say? He said Rachel's best shot is Avery. He didn't say that. He didn't throw her under the bus like that. But he was like, I think that Rachel's best shot is Avery. Like he kind of took.
I thought he said Rachel wants to go against Avery.
No, he didn't. That's why they were saying they didn't respect that. Derek was pretty much speaking for Rachel, and Rachel couldn't say it herself. Derek said, I feel like Rachel's best shot at survival is going against Avery. And then Corey was like, really? Okay, so you want to go against me? That's what you want? That's what you want? Yeah. And so then we get a mini sequel to Derek versus Corey where they're just going at it again. And he's like, okay, well, you asked for it, you're going to get it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's good TV for me. I'm enjoying it, personally.
But for me, I was still, again, continuing to side-eye Derek because I was like, again, he brought up, the way that Corey played the challenge. And I was just like, he didn't do anything that warrants you bringing it up. Like, this is a game. Like, nobody's going to hand you anything. Like, I'm sorry. That's not what they're here for. It's nobody's fault that you're wounded, but you're deciding to stay, so you're going to be treated just like everybody else.
And so, he said he went easy on you. But anyways, so we get that. And then number 8, we get Theo and Jenny. I think they're being smart, guys. They said they decided in that chamber that they were going to throw in Era 3. But not wanting to have all the blood on their hands, they tell their team, we're conflicted, y'all. This is what we're feeling, but let's put it to a vote. It's up to the team. And the team falls right into their hands.
And by the team, we mean Josh and Casey fell right into their trap.
Yeah, fell right smack dab into the trap.
Especially Josh, in my opinion, because
getting played.
Casey knows when to just hang back and shut up. Josh has to argue. Like, both of them are in the wrong.
Well, we didn't even get there yet. We didn't even get there. I'm just talking about how they got played in voting for Corey. They voted for Corey to go in. So
I think what they said basically was trying to be like, at the end of the day, we support that y'all want, them to go in. So if that's what y'all want,
Yeah, they said that,
basically.
But they also voted, and they did not vote to save Corey.
They did not defend them in any way. They did not try to get the tides to turn in the other direction. We already had Michelle and Kylan both actively saying, like, we don't agree with this. We think this is stupid. So literally, Josh and Casey
would have been 4
coming
people.
back. Yeah, would have actually turned the tide in theory. So
no, I mean, at least it wouldn't have given Theo and Jenny
the out. They wouldn't have been able to say it was a team decision because they would have technically had the numbers to have been like, no, we want this to happen.
And they still would have done what they wanted to do, what they already decided to do, which is throw in Era 3. So literally they just fell into their hands. So they told Devin and Tori and Corey, and Corey is out for blood, guys. He is out for blood. Devin's like, I don't like this. I feel like they are not playing with us. Like, we're trying to play the game with them. Tori's like, what the heck, bro? And that brings us to 9. Our highlight number 9, we get Devin and Michelle downloading. And that just, I'm really loving not only their romantic relationship this season, but they're playing the game together, guys. And if you're with somebody in the game, play the game with them. There are so many people that they will be together hooking up romantically, but they are not playing this game together. It's not actually benefiting them.
I feel like that doesn't happen so much in the challenge.
It doesn't happen so much on the challenge.
It just happens on Big Brother because that's a game where you really can't trust anybody. But in this game, like, you have to trust people. You have to have relationships.
That's true.
It's kind of like that with Big Brother too. With Big Brother, you need to be able to have someone to trust too. But for whatever reason,
they don't.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. The thing is, they should start to realize many of showmances are going to happen. So if all the showmances happen, they can't target all of y'all. So
and then also these people, they already know each other or of each other, you know, and they come back season after season. So there's a reason to, like, be known as a loyal player versus, you know, you're only playing that one time and like
That's true.
go big or go home.
It's just two different games is what it is. But yeah, I like to see them playing the game together, and she's downloading him on things. Devin's like, was it really a vote, or was the vote like just a sham? Like, was it? And she tells him what the
she tells him the honest truth.
Yep. And then we get Corey and Josh arguing in the background, and they're really loud. And I just got my popcorn in my hands, and
I feel like Josh is kind of being reminiscent of Michelle this season, of when Michelle would make moves the other season with Jay, and then she'd go back and see if the person was okay, and they didn't really like that. They didn't respect that, and they kind of got mad at her about that. But that's just Michelle. That's her character, because Michelle wants, you know, she's a people person. She doesn't want people to be mad at her, and she's just, you know, trying to keep the peace. And I feel like Josh kind of is doing the same thing, where he's trying to keep the peace. He doesn't want anyone to be mad with him, but it's like, you've already burned that bridge with Corey, and then you continue to do so.
Yeah, and the thing is, he can't get mad at Corey. That's just the thing. Like, Corey was on a 10, maybe an 11 even, but it's like, he has every right to be mad. Like, you're trying to take food out of his mouth. You're trying to take bread off his family's table.
And he keeps going in, and Josh,
you're supposed to be his friend. And Josh hasn't gone in, and they done, his team done saved y'all over and over, and y'all are not doing that for him. And he seems to always be the one who is at the end of that sword when y'all want to turn on Era 3. So he has every right to be mad, and you're supposed to be his friend, and you couldn't even vote to keep him because it wouldn't have made a difference. It's like, you can still do it. It's like that whole thing in All Stars when Tina voted in Rachel that time, and Rachel was like, dang, Tina, you still could have like not said my name. Like,
I don't want to compare it to that, because personally, I was not mad at Tina for that.
Yeah, we weren't mad at her because
Tina was literally one vote.
Yeah.
Like,
but this one was not one vote. This was, you know, they actually could have made a difference, but they didn't care.
This one was literally, oh wait, was it 2-5?
It was 5-2, yeah. So it would have been 4-3 because Olivia would have voted with them two, but still, y'all, they would have had the numbers. So, you know, he has a right to be mad at you, mad at KC. Like, y'all are not having his back. So I just didn't understand why he was like defending himself. It's like, sometimes just be like, bro, I'm sorry, I did mess up. Like, just leave him alone. And then Casey was not buying your bull.
No, she wasn't. She was backed up out of that room.
No, she was saying stuff to the camera, which was delusional. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what was she saying? Because I was like, you don't have a right. Like, Corey does have a right to be mad at you.
I don't remember her saying anything.
Y'all, I have to go back. I didn't like what she had to say, and I feel like both of them playing dumb. I do, and we're literally watching the Vacation Alliance implode, because them not having Corey's back is not having their Era 3's back. It's also making Devin and Tori side eye the mess out of them, because they're like, you're putting in our players, that weakens our team, and we're not here for it. Like, we're not doing that to y'all.
They're gonna let Vacation Alliance is gonna start going after each other, and they're gonna let other people skate by.
What I see happening is, I think they're gonna push Era 3 over to Era 2's hands, because nobody's trying to work with Era 4. But Era 3 already tried to work with Era 2.
Era 4 is about to be in danger.
They're going to get themselves in danger playing like this. And they're going to, Era 2 and 3 are going to team up and get them out. Because guess what, baby? Era 2 and Era 3 also have connections that they just been ignoring for in favor of Era 4 and the Vacation Alliance. Y'all about to kiss, you know, what they say, the hand that feeds you, they about to
bite the hand
that feeds them. And
I will say that, as smart as I think it is for Casey to stay out of things and to lay low, I feel like for me personally, I wouldn't want to play the game with somebody like Casey, because I feel like she literally is so strategic to the point where it's detrimental to those around her. Like, I feel like she's really just looks out for herself, and she does not look out for you. Like, you will be targets way in front of her, and I just feel like that's a scary person to play with. Like, if you're in a bind and you need like her as backup to help like defend you and stuff, she's not gonna be there for you. Unless you're Nani, I don't see her defending anybody. Like, Josh was in the thick of it, and Josh, I know, is her #1 ally in this season. I know he is. She was nowhere to be found to help defend him. So she said, I'm not going down with that sinking ship. She said, you will always be a target in front of me.
Yeah. And it's like the saying goes, stand for something or you stand for nothing. And sis be literally standing for nothing. So don't expect her to have your back, and you can't play the game with people like that. And sorry, our best friends love her. They are huge Casey fans, but we just pointing out the flaws in the game and
calling a spade
just pointing out the flaws. Yeah. All right, that brings us to our last one, which is a lot of steps in this, but highlight number 10, y'all. Derek and Corey, they trash talking when they go down, before they even go down into the sand. Like, Theo and Jenny announce who's going down and who's going to be down there, and they go down there, and then Corey's like, this person said they wanted to go against me. They was being very rude and disrespectful toward me and threw a vest at me. And Derek's like, you like grow up. Like, I threw a vest at you. You really making a big deal out of that?
And then Jordan said behind his back or something. You know we don't do that.
Yeah,
and
behind his back, we don't do that. Throw it to his face. Throw it to his face. You asked for it, now you got it. Yep.
Yes, Jordan. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. This is why this is an ally. And I don't even know if he is an ally for him, actually.
He just
I don't
like
know that
it.
Jordan is an ally for Corey, but I'm telling you, this
Jordan
is what allies
doesn't
do.
like no BS. And
but you got to stand for something. And that's why Jordan has the allies that he has, is because he do be having his people's back, and he will stand for something. And so I just, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off of Casey, but I just need her to do the same. Like, stand for something. Because it will help you. And I mean, she's been doing well, but I don't know if there's longevity to the way that she plays.
Yeah, we're gonna see. But I just wanted to say, Derek, bro, like, you can say that he's making a big deal, but you don't throw things at people. Like, you literally could have thrown a sock at him. You could have thrown a water bottle, an empty water bottle. Like, throwing something at someone's back, that's fighting. Like, that's
yeah, that was tantrum. That was kid. That was fighting.
Fighting behavior. Like, you're really lucky, and I'm so glad that Corey didn't do anything, because I would hate to see him go out like that. But that's disrespectful. You don't do that to someone. I
couldn't believe it, because we love Derek, y'all. We love him. We think he's incredible, like an incredible challenger. But this episode I was not impressed by his behavior at all. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, outside of the elimination.
We'll get there.
It got better, but that's where we start out with that we noticed. Jordan co-signed Corey, and Derek and Corey trash talking, and then we get Avery getting pummeled, y'all, getting pummeled in that elimination. But she's not turning her back. We noticed, so it was like, that's smart. She's not turning her back, so she's taking a while to get to her back, but she really should have been doing what she started doing at the end, which was ducking.
It's like she finally was like, oh, wait a minute.
Bob weave.
I don't have to let her hit me.
Right.
I can actually duck.
Yeah, like Jordan was saying, like, put your hands up, do something. Like, she was just getting the crap beat out of her. And, it wasn't a good strategy, unfortunately.
And I told Nee, I was like, why isn't she running around? I was like, I wouldn't even worry about getting hurt. As long as, like, she can't catch you, then it doesn't matter if you're being hurt. And... she was trying so hard not to be hurt, but it's like,
that's not the battle to fight. The battle is to not get caught.
You're gonna be hurt regardless. Like, there's no way around it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, she got beat pretty bad, but she did manage to knock a lot off of Rachel herself. When it was her turn, she managed to knock a lot off of Rachel. She
actually, according to TJ, knocked all of them off.
No, Rachel knocked all of hers.
Except for 6.
That got her. She was like...
I didn't understand that. Why did you word it like that, sir? She didn't knock all of them off, obviously.
Except for 6.
6 is
It was 16 of them. It was 16 of them, was it not?
Yeah, that's like a third of them that she left behind. Actually,
almost
more
half.
than that. Yeah, that she left behind.
So that was a poor word choice, but she only had 6 on there, so I get what you were trying to say. But I'm proud of Avery. I really am. And knowing that she did that well on Rachel should have actually been a clue to Corey. You're going against a dog. Like, it's a wounded dog, but...
I just wish that Avery could have gone second, because I think she would have done a lot better.
I wish the same.
She caught onto the strategy a little bit too late.
Yeah.
But she, it would have been, I don't know, it would have been nice to see her, like, actually... do the thing, and I think that she could have done better. I know she could have.
I wonder how they decide these things. Like, I really want to see them be like Survivor, where Survivor they have to pick stones for so many things. Like, decide who goes first that way, or let them choose what they want to do first that way. And even with guys and girls elimination, like, switch that stuff up sometimes.
Right. Why is it the girls?
Every single time. And the guys get to benefit by watching. The girls never get to benefit from watching. So I really do want to see them do things a lot more fair. All right. Y'all know I could talk about that forever. But anyways, she wasn't no slouch. Good job, Avery. You tried your best. The odds were stacked against you in the first place. And then you not going first. I mean, you having to go first didn't help. So,
but then we get to the guys, and I mean, this was even crazier. Like,
yeah, this was crazier. Like, Corey, like, we all know how well he did during his round, but when it came to him having to protect himself, it was a little wild. It was definitely a little wild. It was definitely red desperation. And he's running around and he's doing all these
powder flying everywhere.
Bad maneuvers. And I feel like he was thinking about it too much when he was in the driver's seat, and he's trying to like really think and like hone in on these skills. It's like, bro, just go wild, go crazy. Wild and crazy kids. Like, stop trying to be a boxer right now. I know you're a boxer and you're trying to listen to this precision, and he was trying to daredevil it. Like, you're not Daredevil. You don't have these heightened senses, bro. Like, just go. And so that he was scaring the mess out of me.
So the fact that, like, I feel like we all felt like this was going to be clearly a Corey win. Derek has a bum leg. Like, you have to be quick and on your feet to get away from your opponent with this.
And he's going to be hobbling.
And to go to pursue your opponent, And so, clearly, this is going to go to Corey. No.
So, first off, like we said, when he's the pursuer, he's thinking about it too much, and it takes him a while to even start hitting him. So, that was not the best thing. But what really scared the mess out of me was when he was on the defense and he's like moving all over and he's bending down and he's letting him get his back and he's like falling into the rope and like busting his own bags. And I'm like, what are you doing, Corey? And then at the end, he's like so amped up that he throws himself onto Derek, and I think he pops the remainder of his bags. I'm like, what are you doing right now? You are your own worst enemy. I promise you, I don't know how many bags of those that he burst on his own, but I promise you he burst some of them on his own.
I really hope he did, because otherwise I'm just like, how in the world? Like, this is embarrassing. And it's still embarrassing. But I mean, if Derek actually got all of those, that's embarrassing. More embarrassing, in my opinion. But yeah, like, Derek again proved to me, like, Derek is the one that I was really impressed with coming out of this, because literally Derek had a bum leg and literally still almost won. He is not to be underestimated ever. If he didn't have his bum leg,
he would have won.
He would have won,
because that Derek Kozinski, he got the fight, and he also got the brains. He got the bark, the bite, and the brains. So he would have outsmarted him. You saw how he was running around, how he was maneuvering and stuff. He and just going at it.
That literally came down to a time battle, y'all. So
by the grace of God,
Corey better thank the Lord that Derek was injured, because he would have been going home, and that's just crazy.
No, he better thank the Lord that he still just managed to get that, because Derek being injured aside, he still almost lost that. So just thank God that you managed to get it faster than him somehow, because you scared me. Like, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I'm gonna need you to think, stop, look, listen, because I promise you almost played yourself in that. That was you overthinking it, you getting too pumped up and bursting your own bags. So I'm going for you. I'm going so hard for you this season.
Yeah, and I will say that I think we both would have been really bummed out if Derek had won, mostly because of the fact that he is injured. And so we know that his days are numbered. Like, it's only a matter of time before he's going to leave.
That's her.
So
she would have been disappointed because of that. I would have been disappointed, not so much Derek winning, but Corey losing, because I would have been like, dang, that's my dude. And I'm rooting for him. And now he's gone. And Era 3 is weaker now. And I'm rooting for Era 3. So that's how I would have felt.
I want people to stay that actually have a chance to win. And, like, he's not winning. Like, he's not winning the season. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he left, because I feel like he should have already left. Like, I feel
and
like
he needed to leave. He did, because he has an injury.
As soon as he got injured.
He needs to get that injury checked out. And I heard on Twitter that, things still might not be right with that because of him doing what he did. So I just hope and pray, prayers for Derek, you guys, that his leg get better, because
he's such a fighter. But it's like, also like, you have to know, like, we have to exercise wisdom.
You love this game and you want to be able to come play it more and more and more. So you got to just leave this season so you can come back other times. I know he also probably felt beholden to his era that was literally living on a prayer. But you got to look out for your own health.
You have to know when to call it quits. I feel like that happened. Something happened. Was it on Survivor last season or on a challenge season where the person got injured and they were like, you know, they realized that they needed to get that injury seen about and they had to end up leaving instead of staying. Do you remember?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't remember that. We watched a lot of shows, y'all. I don't remember that. It's probably not either one of the shows that she named.
I really think it was Survivor, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, probably Survivor. But yeah, by the grace of God, Corey prevailed. Congratulations, Corey. Don't scare me like that again. Let's play smart in the future. And I hope you get your revenge.
And at the end of the match, they didn't know, neither one of them knew who won.
Right.
But I will say it was Corey who like extended that olive branch and was like, you know what, you're amazing.
He had to give it to him after that. Yeah. He was like, dang, man.
But still, he didn't
have to. He could.
Nobody ever has to do anything.
Yeah.
But I do just want to point out, like, again, we get to see in front of us when people do this, just how amazing it is and how it softens the hearts of other people. Because we saw Derek and Corey were at odds and were at each other's throats the entire episode. But when Corey extended that olive branch and gave him that praise, that really meant a lot to Derek, and Derek gave it right back to him. And, you know, just like that, I feel like they're probably absolutely completely fine right now. And they probably have no malice between the two of them.
Because both of them are great competitors, and you never want to see great competitors going at it like that. I mean, sometimes it's entertaining, but, you know, when they're both good people.
Not in a way where they're, like, personally offended by the other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's good to see good competition and stuff. But at the end of the day, you want people to be able to come together and be like, hey, we still love each other and we respect each other and stuff.
So this was very reminiscent for me of Corey going against Brad. And I think Corey does a really good job of just being a good sportsman at the end where everything's said and done, and really just hyping up his competitors and being like, man, like, you pushed me, like, you gave me a run for my money, whether they did it or not, and saying, you did that, you did amazing. And I really like that he does that. Everyone doesn't do that. So.
And also, I mean, Brad, y'all know we love Brad. He's such a stand-up guy. And Derek is a stand-up guy. Even though I didn't like his behavior this episode, he still came back around and he was a stand-up guy. And as we are seeing, Corey is a stand-up guy as well. And so, all stand-up guys here. And everything is okay. And they did this before we even found out that Corey won. But Corey won.
I was so relieved. I was so scared that he played himself. Yep. But as we end the episode, Devin volunteered, guys. Yes, I mean, I think that's what he wanted from us. He wants everybody to be giving, like, huge round of applause for him.
You were gonna go in anyway,
like you were gonna go in anyways, because Rachel wasn't gonna put in Jordan, who she knows better than you, and you were supposed to go in before. And he said, I hope my era appreciates me and they can look back on this. And I'm like, bro, look back on what? You're supposed to do this. And you already didn't do it one time. Like, you're not gaining any favors because you did what you were supposed to do that everybody else is already doing.
Does he think that they're all idiots? Because, I mean, if we can see this as viewers, I'm pretty sure that they can see that you just did that because you are going to be chosen anyway.
I think he just likes to talk sometimes. Like, it's like, are you not thinking about what you're saying? Or I guess it's the other person that swapped places with him.
Some people, in their eyes, they think that they can do no wrong. And so he is the hero here. Yeah, but Rachel is by her lonesome now. She's by herself. And she will be in danger.
Laurel has been nominated, and last thing,
we love to see it. Yay!
I'm not mad at it, but guys,
I love to see it.
This girl lineup is something else. We got Rachel, we got Laurel, we got Casey, we got Tori. We're in for a treat.
So a powerhouse will be going home next week, basically. A powerhouse will be leaving,
and I think I will be fine with absolutely any of them, as long as it's not Tori. Wow. Never thought you'd hear that.
I think for me personally, I would like to see Laurel leave. And then if Laurel can't leave, then Casey.
Yeah. I don't want to see Rachel go. Don't want to see her go. Definitely don't want to see Tori go. But as long as it's not Tori, for me, like I'm good over here. You never thought I'd say that, right? I'm not the hugest Tori fan. I like her.
Yeah, but we've just never been huge.
Just not a huge.
She likes her more than I do. I like her
personality. I like her as a person.
Season.
I don't always like her as a player. I love her as a person. Don't always agree with her gameplay. But yeah, we're liking her this season. So
And her
thank you for letting us like you this season,
we
Tori.
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
And for the guys, we have
3
Ryan
people.
volunteered himself. Don't know why he did that. Like, why couldn't you just let Bananas go in again?
He just, he's a good guy. He was like, fine,
He finally, he let Bananas words get to him. Nobody cares if you're not going in. We're happy here.
Yeah, and it's not like back in the
you.
day, you finally said, fine, I'll go in for Ryan or whatever.
Bananas never did that. Bananas would have never did that. Why did you let yourself get manipulated by him? That should have been Bananas. But anyway, Ryan, Devin, and Kylan. Because Kylan is addicted to volunteering.
He really should have let Josh go in with his friend Casey. That's what makes sense. Josh and Casey. Does he think that Casey's so popular that they won't go in because Casey's not winning any popularity contests?
She's not.
Now.
She's very in danger.
She's on thin ice.
So you're very in danger with her.
You in danger, girl.
So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens. I just thought about it. They said Laurel should have been holding on for dear life and she fell. What if she's potentially throwing? I just thought about that. Hopefully not, but I could see her I want to go in. I want to go in and take out one of these girls because I'm gonna take them out, and then maybe she's trying to get rid of Ryan.
I would never. I could never.
Hopefully
see her
not, because
she would never.
She was not the smartest player, but
no, she would never do that. She would never throw herself in there.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So she's saying it's not true.
Nope.
All right. So we're gonna see what happens, but yeah, like we said, good episode this week. Hopefully we have a great episode next week.
Let us know your thoughts, you guys. Let us know who you want to leave next week.
And who you're rooting for, which era you're rooting for, which people you're rooting for. Let us know, okay? And we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
God bless.
God bless you. And you prayers for Miami. I mean, not Miami. Prayers for
Florida.
Yes.